There we go. Let me close the door. It's one of those days. I'm super sleepy. Okay, so before we begin, let's fix this because I forgot to fill in the description. I know I'm running super late today. So I woke up and I wasn't really awake. It happened, And then, I haven't even eaten breakfast. As you can see, I'm still in my pajamas. I'm not dressed. I really didn't even feel like studying at all, which is not a good thing. But I'm going to do it because I was looking at my schedule and I was talking about this last night with Prince Charming that there's so much information that I need to get through that I don't think it's wise for me to take off Christmas Eve and Christmas morning. So I think I'm just going to do regular days and then I'll gain a day, sort of. Because today we have Introduction to Marketing, and I caught up yesterday. Day 4, we're on chapter 7, and there are 107 slides. And not to be like oh, life sucks, but I just know that there's no way that I can get through all those slides in an hour. So not only am I going to be working through the Christmas stuff, I think 100% I'm going to also have to include the evening sessions as well. And that's not going to be like, let's drink and relax. It's going to be, let's catch up so I don't fall behind. And I know for some people, if they get in this position, they're like, let's take it slow. But I'm someone that I much rather push myself now and then not have to work so hard later. Because nothing's worse than if you take it slow and then you're getting to the end of it and you realize, oh crap, there's not enough time. So we need the clock. I sort of want a hair thingy, but there isn't one close to me, so I guess we're not wearing one. We have to remember to breathe. So all of this is done. Going. Okay. I'm gonna have to redo my schedule. Okay, let's just start the marketing. I'm stalling because it's like I saw all the slides and I was like, crap. I'm definitely going to need more flashcards. I do not have enough. And I don't know when I can go and get some. Okay, that's neither here or there. Customers buy for the reasons, not yours. Everyone is not your customer. When you speak to everyone, you speak to no one. And then we're doing marketing, segmentation, targeting, differentiating, and positioning. And it's the managing marketing strategy and marketing mix. So we definitely want to look that up in the book because I know it's in there. What chapter is this? Should be chapter 7. 4, 5. I'm not sure if that thing is actually in there because I remember seeing it somewhere else. Or maybe it is. Maybe it's not. I really don't want to have to copy that stupid thing down. Yeah, I'm almost positive it was like in the previous chapter. Okay, what was this called? We'll try looking it up. Oh, it's just marketing, managing marketing strategy. Let's try looking at that. Marketing. Okay. 2.4. This is it. What chapter is this in? This is in chapter 2. I knew it wasn't there. Okay, so the marketing. Okay, so the marketing, it's managing marketing strategies and marketing mix. So the marketing strategy involves 2 key questions. Which customers will we serve, segmentation and targeting, and how will we create value for them, differentiating and positioning. Then the company designs a market program, the 4 Ps that deliver the intended value to targeting customers. At its core, marketing is all about creating customer value and profitable customer relationships. Okay, I'm going to copy these questions. And then it has marketing segmentation, market segment, market targeting, and positioning. And what does he focus on here? Okay, so which demands and wants do we want to or can we provide? Okay, so we want segmentation, targeting, and differentiating and positioning for definitions. Wait, what was the third one? Was it positioning? Because if that's, no, yes, differentiating and positioning are the same thing. Okay, so we're gonna do, I'm gonna drink some water. I forgot to get you water. During the next break, we need to get a hair thingy because I can't believe I don't have one somewhere. Okay. Market segmentation. And it's dividing a market into distinct groups. Of buyers who have different needs, characteristics, behaviors, and meet required separate marketing strategies. Might require separate. However, there was a word, because this is, no, is it up here? Okay, so this is part of which customer will we serve. Okay. So in market, okay, what's the difference? Okay, so a market segment then. Is a group of customers who respond in a similar way. And then what is segments then? Okay, wait. So market segmentation is dividing the market into distinctive groups of buyers who have different needs, characteristics, and behaviors, and who might require separate marketing strategies or mixes. And then a segment is a group of customers who respond in a similar way to a set of marketing efforts. Okay, so I think this is before splitting up. Okay, then market targeting, and we'll just do marketing position because why the heck not? So I keep doing this so that the ink dries because I see that on my pretty yellow tablecloth, I have these little blue dots and it's from the ink. I'm gonna have to buy hairspray. That's how you get ink out. So evaluating each market. Segment. attractiveness. And selecting selecting one or more segments to serve. Yeah, positioning. And I think this is one where it's bringing, and this is create value. And this is arranging for a product. To occupy. Clear. Clear, distinctive, and desirable. Applying market segmentation. Companies today recognize that they cannot and should not appeal to all buyers in the marketplace, or at least not to all buyers in the same way. Buyers are too numerous, widely scattered, and varied in their wants, needs, and consumer behaviors. Today's customers don't want boring uniformity. They increasingly want to be different. Is there something in the book about mass marketing? Okay. So this is intro to marketing.
Voor de kleintjes en de groten. Voor de stoere, de elegante, de authentieke. Voor thuis, voor onderweg. Voor heel de dag en nacht. Voor een lach en een traan. Voor de clowns, voor de pessimisten en de optimisten. Voor zij die van je houden, niet van je houden, veel van je houden. Voor een kus, voor het perfecte koppel, voor altijd. Voor onze toekomst, voor de engeltjes en de bengeltjes. Voor zij die willen groeien, voor de ultieme smaak, zonder suiker. Voor zorgeloos genot, voor zij die willen kiezen. En kiezen, voor alle generaties, voor ons, voor iedereen. Open happiness.
Cool. Okay, hold on. So positioning and differentiate is customers to serve. Segmentation and targeting. These are customers served, and this is create value. Serve, and this is create value. Okay. Let's go to market segmentation. Okay, cool. I'm going to say geographical segmentation.
This is Albert. He's my son. He was born from my first wife from my first marriage. And let me tell you what a marriage that was. I drop him off at swimming. He loves swimming. Then I go and get the twins, Pierre and Michel. They're my other boys, well, rather my wife's children, my current wife. I get them, then I hurry to get the little one, my little Marie. She's my daughter and my wife's daughter. I mean my current wife, the one I'm married to now. I get her, then go back and get the twins. I just forgot. Then we pick up Albert again. I take him to his house, which used to be my house when I lived with my ex-wife. Then I get Danielle, who I've just found out is my son. Then we all finally go home. Then I drop off Xavier, my neighbor's kid.
For new families, nothing beats the new Renault Grand Scenic.
Worship me.
Hi. How are you doing?
From the makers of Coca-Cola Zero comes a taste of life as it should be.
Baby, whipped cream or chocolate sauce?
Both. You know, I'm an edge. Great taste, zero sugar, as it should be.
Mr. Hadley, would you like a Coca-Cola Zero Sugar?
Never had one. What else haven't I tried? I want to break free.
Hello.
Alice, I've always loved you.
I want to break free from your lies. You're so self-satisfied.
Better older ladies. Arms away.
Mr. Hadley?
Break free. That Coke that's sugar free.
CRM. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna stop here because it's about to rain. I feel like that was a good session. Let's mark down. I got to slide 84. So I think there was what, 107? Okay. Don't save. Let's get rid of this. Let's mark that out. We did marketing. Let's X this out. Yeah. Today is definitely not the get dressed kind of day. I do feel better though. I'm starting to freak out because I'm definitely not gonna have enough flashcards. I'm gonna have to see if we can buy them online and have them delivered, but I'm even thinking that's probably going to be difficult because it's like Christmas, so I don't know if we'll get those. I'm gonna go check on the kids, we'll open up the window, and I'll be back in a shake. Okay, we need, that's accounting. It is. Okay, so it's cold outside. I decided to do a few laps. I also found some hair ties. Yay. Cold, but I am awake. Okay, so before we begin, I didn't have my little treat, which I think I deserve because I definitely don't feel like studying or doing anything really. So, smell quick. Before we start back up, I want to check out Toledo to see. I think I'm still waiting for somebody to email me. I can't remember. Okay, so the teacher did say that I can send the cases by the end of December, so there are a lot of them that we did, so I think I'm going to take my time going through the international trade and payment notes. However, I am going to start using the color things. Otherwise, I seriously am going to run out of note cards. Okay, so let's put these somewhere else so they're out of the way. Let's start the timer, that's important. No, it's 0050. 00. Okay, let's, what am I doing? We are going to international trade and payment procedures. Oh, no, I think, oh no. You're going to do the transportation documents. Should be on slide 64. I mean 54. Oh, I think I'm at page. Okay, yes. Must have at page 64. Yes. Okay, so these can go over here. I want to do these. Let's get rid of this. And where do my pens go? So this is going to be the maritime bill of lading. Sort of organize the desk a bit. Need a bigger desk. Okay, and the definition is by issuing the bill of lading, the carrier acknowledges having received the goods mentioned in the agreement, commits himself to carry them under the agreed conditions and to deliver them at destination in accordance with the instructions received in the return for payment of the price. So bill of lading means the carrier receives the goods, and will carry and deliver according to instructions. Cool. Okay, it's drawn up by the ship's agent. Self and the features are proof of receipt, Okay. What's the next? Okay. Let's mark that down. So okie dokie. Let's put all of this up. Let's do it. There, and we're also on slide 44. Okay, so let's fill this up. Get this ready. Okay, I have not eaten yet, so I think I'm gonna go get some cereal. Oh, people are here. Hello, everybody. How are you? How could you send me Duc de Chocolat? You could come to Belgium and get it yourself, because I'm lazy. Hello, Hytham. Class is going well today. I'm let's see, do you have financial marketing classes? Because all what I want is having someone like you study and give us some guidance in financial marketing. I read the other day something about financial marketing. Amazon and Nike took top selling points of the market. They have big financial marketing projects for control what stores buy their products. And then Jaslyn says, good morning. Good morning, Jaslyn. Okay, so, hi them. Oh, and Tom Beck gave me some love. Thank you. Okay, so, hey them. There are plans since I'm going to business, that I have considered possibly doing some type of content revolving around marketing and that sort of thing, but it's probably going to be geared towards writers. I don't know if that will be helpful to you or not. Okay, I'm going to go make some cereal or something because I'm starving, and then we're going to start with Excel. according to my notes, I already downloaded thing 7. I want to check out. Okay, so nothing was there. We'll go to Excel. X. Okay, so we're on if functions. Okay, there are way more slides than the other ones. They are if functions, so. I'm so hungry, oh my goodness. This is what happens when you skip breakfast. Zero, 0, 5, 0, 0, 0. And we got timer is set. Okay, so if function. Flat pen. Excuse me. Looks like the rest of this is just exercises. So I think we can move on to number 8. Oh, wait, no, it's number 7. Okay, I think this is one that I'm just going to watch because I remember this just being chaotic and not really understanding it. Okay, let's see if it's this one.
Okay, recording started. So, good afternoon. Session number 8. Session number 8 of 10, as we have told last week.
Oh, it does say
Not 11 or 12 sessions, but only 10 sessions. We have seen a lot already. Today is about data validation. Data validation, and you can be sure you will ask it on the exam. It is something that is quite important and that we will ask every single time. But we will have enough opportunity during this session to practice, and it is not so complex. It's just one functionality that you need to know. You need to know where to find it and how to use it. It is not like last week that you really need to understand difficult formulas with different levels and how to construct the formulas. And now it is just a simple functionality that you need to know how to use. So what is it about actually? In Excel, you can define what type of data is allowed in a cell. For instance, if you only want to allow a user to type text or to type numbers, then you can specify for this cell a data validation that when you type something else than a number, for instance, that you get an error message which states, oh, sorry, in this cell you can only type a number. Please try again. So in data validation, if you go to data tools in the data tab, data tools, and then the data validation button, if you go there and you click, we will do it later on, I will just explain it first. So then if you click data validation, then you get 3 tabs: the settings tab, the input message tab, and the error alerts tab. So on the settings tab, you need to specify what type of value, what type of cell content that you want to accept in this cell. Do you want to accept any value? Okay, that's cool. Then you don't really need the data validation functionality, of course. But you could also say, no, I only want to accept whole numbers in this cell. So if you type text, you get an error message. Or I only want to accept a decimal, or a date, or a time, or values from a list. We will go further into it a little bit in one of the next slides. You can say, okay, not any value, only the values specified in this list. And then you get a drop-down menu, and then the user can only select one of the items in the list, for instance. We will see later how to do this. So these are the validation criteria.
Okay, now I remember this.
Which type of data do we allow in this cell? All right. Then, for instance, here, if you say, I only want numbers between 250 and 500, you can say, okay, in this cell, I only want to allow whole numbers between or minimum. So let's say that in this cell, it's in Dutch. Just a second. Last week, I had a problem with a Dutch Excel, and I had to change the language. So now I need to restart. Yeah, here we are. Okay, let's say in this cell, data tab, and there we have the data validation button. Data validation. All right. What do I want to allow in the settings tab? I want to allow any value? No, I don't want to allow any value. I only want to allow whole numbers. So if you select whole numbers, then you get other things you need to specify. What is, I say no. Okay, select the cell. Then they get an input message. So show the input message when cell is selected. Title, please 5 only. Some error alerts. I've explained them here. Input required. Okay. There are 3 possible error alerts: the stop, the warning, and the information error alert. And this is important, and this distinction, because also on the exam, we will specify what type of error alert that you need to use. Do you want to allow people to input another value than the one that you choose or not? In the stop scenario, there is no possibility. So it is the value that you specify, so between 250 and 500, or nothing. So there is no way out. There is no possibility to put in an alternative value. And so they only get the retry or the cancel option. The warning is if they type something else. So for instance, they type 100, then they get a warning. Are you sure that you want to write 100? Since normally the normal values that we accept are between 250 and 500. Are you sure that you want to type something else? Yes, okay, and then the 100 is accepted. And so in this scenario, other values are also accepted, but after a warning. If he says no, then you go back to the cell, and then you can replace the 100 by a value between the 250 and the 500. And then cancel the invalid value is replaced by the initial value, for instance, here. So cancel. But the most important thing here is that stop is there is no alternative. You should keep yourself to the rules. Warning is you can break the rules, but after a warning. And information is just an information with okay the users. It's allowed. Right? The name. Continue. 500 arcs new. I want information. I think that's on this. Making Excel to give information to you. Definitely when they make it to values that are not invalid. They are the date why is first circles. Is if you have an Excel sheet for example, the data function. So if you have specified what valid data is, Excel also knows what is invalid data. And then there is a very easy way to point these invalid. These values are invalid because they are not data whole number. Who can state good instructions to the people that predict it. It's also useful. That's a very good question, of course. Okay, circle invalid data. Let's say that here we have had all the input and people needed to fill out a number between 250 and 500, and that they had the option to input value, invalid data. Those how
Okay,
is
so
to this from here. So no other options. If you then select can things from the list, only a drop down arrow and the
okay.
and which list? Well,
So this is all pretty self-explanatory.
So or when arrow not I or for then only not.
Okay. So I think these are just the exercises.
Lees go zero. The organ do it. Back what translate here or mission no use limit next.
Okay, so I'm gonna say that I know that. I thought that was something way more complicated. I swear, some of the classes, specifically near the end, it was just my brain was not in it. So at least I know that for that class, that's definitely going to be on the test. So I will definitely focus on those exercises. But I mean, it's a function on the ribbon. So normally when you have stuff like that, it's pretty straightforward because there's normally like a walkthrough wizard. And like if you're doing nested if functions, you have to like know the order and crap. And that's just ugh. So let's move on to number 9. Folder. This was data validation. And what is this? Conditional formatting and the printing. Okay, this one is hard because it involves printing. Well, the conditional formatting is normally really easy. What is this? Okay, so we have okay, hold on. Let's open up a Word in Excel. Open this one. And cell format. Oh, okay. There's a whole proper little thing here. Cool. Okay. Okay, then you have like the general numbers. Okay, hold on, there should be a dialog box that comes up. Okay, yeah, so for the general numbers, there's a dialog box that can come up. Forwarding numbers, column width and row height is under format. The alignment, more options. Yes, adjusting the fonts. Borders. Copy, yes. Okay, and then we have the conditional. Okay, so this shouldn't be that easy, that difficult because, again, it's a walkthrough thing. You just have to set the rules. So conditioning format, predefined, you can make these formatting of cells depending on the value of the cells themselves or the value of other cells. Predefining formatting, data bars, color cells, icon sets. So define the rules. No, we don't want to do that ourselves. Okay, so that's where it gets difficult. So new rules. Yeah. Oh, wait. My box is very different from that. Oh, that's because he's at the bottom thing. Okay. And then there's manage rules. Go away. Conditioning, manage rules. Yes. Freezing page. You can freeze a part of the worksheet in order to keep it visible when you scroll through the rest of the sheet. Standard option, freeze top row, freeze first column. Oh yeah, that was the, right. How do I do that? Okay, let's go to the lessons, because why would you say that? I don't remember that from class.
I will record the session and session bring the works and just doing this best tips and then do it and here limbs see others you report people know how just make later dive below or give it enough fun. The lines are not printed. You can specify to the what can all use it your patients and some to what get started say it's all now and practically not symbols of the part so it is an extra fit that you send the sheet that you can also say will give you I say if I give as diff wasn't 400 here to insects. Conditional to do tool name form brand ellipse 50 next. So there is a electrons and one door break or for me it's or tab in red. I want it to be called automatic cut parts. All right, exercise 1, check.
Okay, I'm thinking that we didn't actually learn that in class, because I was going to say, I don't remember it. Maybe it's in part 2? I mean, I guess I could ask Prince Charming.
Ints are open 2000 bits. Exercise is ready that will page to me do it literally the same and notes and you go the green arrow versus
Okay, here we go.
Then using print previews. All right. So this is freezing paint. Then using print previews. I think I have a question at home here. Just a second.
Okay, let's talk to my friend. Because if that's not on the test, then who gives? Okay, so this is all conditioning cells. I want to watch the part about printing though, because that printing anything is a pain.
If you press the print button, because sometimes you don't want everything to be printed, and sometimes you only want a part of the sheet to be printed. So therefore you can have different workbook view.
Also, actually, I'll just ask my friend. So I'm going to skip the printing part because I'm assuming that we won't have to print stuff unless we do. Okay, since I'm so far ahead of this, I'm gonna say, so it's going to be the same as before. I'm going to break early. Cancel. Hello again. And hey, Inconspicuous, what's up? Could you tell me how you learn new languages as German? Is it difficult or easy to remember all languages, vocab, and grammar? Or is it sort of practicing technique got by watching films and videos? So I'm probably like the worst person to ask that, only because I have two reading disorders. I have dyslexia and then I have SRCD, which is specific reading comprehensive deficit, and both affect me in very different ways, particularly when it comes to memory and just being able to understand languages in general. So my ability to grasp and understand a language, I think, is very different from the average person, because the average person doesn't know grammar. You know, if you were to ask somebody, you know, can you explain what a definite article is and what an indefinite article is, or what is a personal pronoun versus a personal adjective? You know, things like that. These are things that I know because that's how I essentially learned English, is by being able to identify the different parts of speech in a sentence so that I could understand the sentence. And that's how, in turn, I understand language, which most people don't learn that way. So if you go to a language course, The teachers normally don't teach it from the basis of grammar. So, for example, how can I put this? Like, one of the things that we're working on right now in German are the personal pronouns, but then you have personal adjectives, and they're almost the exact same thing. It's the difference between mine and my. And it's something that I was working on yesterday, and I got really confused because in the book, the personal pronouns and the personal adjectives were called the same thing, and they're not the same thing. But it turns out that when I was talking with the teacher, she did say that I was correct in my observation, but there isn't a defining distinctiveness in German as there is in English. Or there is, but it's more subtle. So yeah, I've hyper-focused on the grammar and just little patterns that I see, because whenever you have, for example, irregular verbs, normally the verb changes follow some sort of pattern. So if you can find the pattern, then you'll have a group of irregular verbs where if you memorize this list and how the vowels change, then you don't really have to memorize, we'll say like a 20 individual conjugations. You just have to memorize these words go into this group, and this group is conjugated in this way. So I do a lot of study techniques like that. But when it comes to German, I don't feel like I'm successful in my abilities to study German because, well, I should say that I'm not successful. I mean, it's happening. It's just, I think that there's so much information that I have to know for the test in January, on top of the fact that I don't have the foundation or the basics of the language. So I'm essentially building over sand, which is crumbling away. So my study techniques that I'm using right now are not long-term, which I have a plan for that. German is just going to have to be a subject that I work on in the summer so that I can pass the next level. And right now, I'm not focusing on learning for long term. I'm focused on memorizing and cramming for short term so that at the very least, I can pass the exam in January. Because I really don't see me doing exceedingly well. And that's really not like a negative Nancy type situation. It's just, it's the reality. I mean, one of the things that we have to do for the test are translations, and I can't do that. We have this whole, well, I should say I can't do it yet. And that's just because I feel like the translation is like up here and I'm like down here and I'm trying to like get to here. I feel like I might have the verbs down, but again, when I was studying the verbs, it wasn't for long term, and I haven't worked on the verbs since we had the little test in December. And that's when I made these. So like bleiben, I think it's bleiben, which is to stay. Okay. I really don't remember what this is. Oh, to reduce. Yep, don't know that one. Like blazen is blazen, and I know that because it's to blow, and it's almost the same as in Dutch. So really the ones that are similar in Dutch are the ones that I sort of remember, like bringen, bringen, bring, denken, denken, denk, to think. I think this is to stand. Yay. So I do know some of them. This is to scare. Yay. Vliegen is to fly, to eat, tretten, not to step, so tread, to flee. Okay, so I know the translation of the verbs. Like I know that this means to stay. However, this is also an irregular verb, and I don't remember how to conjugate them. That's the problem that I'm going to face. So there's this part of me that thinks that I should email the teacher to ask what I can focus my efforts on in German so that I can at the very least pass the test. But I also don't want to come off as a negative Nancy because I don't think that she'll respond well to that. I don't know. But I am exceedingly nervous about the German test. Like all the other classes, for example, we'll just start with the beginning and talk about them. Okay, so the introduction to marketing, I am behind in the study of that, but I've also been told that it's a really easy test. And I'm also not worried about this test because, well, I'm interested in it because I think it's one of the most useful things since, you know, I do my own marketing and whatnot. The International Trade and Procedures test, I'm pretty comfortable with it, I think. I think the most difficult part is going to be the cases, but this is one of those classes that honestly, if I ever use this information again, it would actually make me happy that I didn't waste my time learning it. Because I hate to be that negative Nancy person, but there's just like the bill of lading, the CMR thing, the inward bill of lading, just I think international trade in general is something that I want to try to avoid as much as possible just because I think it's bad for the environment. And if I am going to do international trade, it's going to be on a digital level, or I'm going to try and do it through third parties where the product is made in country so that the shipping can be reduced. So a lot of this paperwork and the import stuff, I plan to circumvent by not having to import or export. I mean, I don't know how realistic that is, but that is one of my goals as a future entrepreneur. I doubt I'll ever use German, to be honest. I've never been to Germany. I know like one German person that I have not talked to in years. So, but it's a cool language. I do like languages. Business office skills I will not use because we like Google. International commercial law. I was told that if you review everything for the test, this is an easy test. But I'm not even through part 2 and it's day 4. The nice thing is that this is near the end, so I don't know what I'm going to do with this because just reading the notes, it's like I want to fall asleep and it's so boring. So accounting, thank God this is also at the end because it's so much more difficult than I anticipated. And then the product development and innovation. I thought this would be easy because it's essentially a companion class to the marketing class. But I was told that his test is so much more difficult than the marketing test. But I think it might be easy if you can just blah, blah, blah your way through stuff. And I have that ability that I sort of noticed when I was working on the paper with the other students that they're very, they write in like bullet points and they don't really expand on anything. So I'm trying to think of how I can explain it. It would be like, the question is, who is the competition? And they would just be like, Gillette. Instead of going on to say, Gillette is the #1 competition against the company. It was founded in this. They have these products and like sort of talking about it. And it seems like in our classes that, you know, you get a point for naming the competition and then you have other points that you can get for demonstrating that you know what you're talking about. So I'm hoping that I can get that, but I don't know, like the whole grading system here is really weird because I worked on the paper for product development and innovation, and I won't lie, I was expecting more of a 15, maybe a 14, at the very least a 13, and I only got an 11, and I think I spent like 2 days on that paper. Like, that was worth more than 11. I mean, I've had papers that I worked on literally a couple hours before, and I still managed to get a better grade than what I'm getting over here. And it's just, it's damaging to my ego. Okay, I do not want to work on German right now. What's after German? Maybe I'll take lunch early and then work on German after, because I feel like I need a break. But then if I do that, I have to work 5 hours. Okay, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna get up and we're gonna go to the bathroom and then we're gonna come back and work on German. I don't want to work on German. Ugh. What is your preference in exam, multiple choice or essays? My preference is no exam, to be perfectly honest. I got little sausages. I think in Belgium I'd prefer just essay questions, because if you have multiple choice in Belgium, they do guess correction, which that that just makes me angry. Like there's this like okay. So in the US we do lots of multiple choice, but like the multiple choice is normally set up in a way that's meant to trick you. So it'll give you like the right answer, but the right answer will have to be written in a specific way. So you would have, I don't know, let's just take a random German sentence. Let's see if I can find one in here somewhere off the top of my head. Okay, no, we'll just say, pretend that there's a German sentence, or we'll use English. So we'll have the English sentence, I saw the dog run, and each multiple choice answer would have all those words together, but it would be written like out of order, or it would replace something. And the point is, you would need to know the right answer in order to get it correct, and they are set up to trick you. And like multiple choice was always just, it's not easier is the point. However, there were techniques that we learned growing up to help better your chances if you don't know the answer. And I particularly think that in business, you know, part of business is just experimenting and figuring out what works. And sometimes what you think will work doesn't work and you fail. And, you know, if you're going to be in business, you need to get over that fear of, oh my gosh, if I do this, will I fail? And I don't think that by doing test correction, that helps students overcome that fear. And I will say that I've noticed, and this isn't like all of Belgium is like this, I'm just saying that I personally have made this observation that in terms of education and interacting like students with the teachers, that Belgian students do not interact with their teachers. They don't ask questions. They just do not engage. And I think part of that is because of test correction, because if you don't understand something and you know that on a test, you're going to get penalized for not knowing 100% the right answer, why would you risk that in class? Versus in the US, it was just like, there's no such thing as a dumb question. And I'd argue that's not true. There are many dumb questions, but you should still ask them, because if you don't understand, you don't understand. And not being right isn't the end of the world. And the funny thing is that all the teachers complain that the students don't interact with them. It's like, well, duh. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do today, because I am sort of sick and tired of grammar, that I am instead going to focus. Oh, okay. Delete. Let's first. Oh, today's day 4. Okay, let's Excel these out. Then we can Excel these out. We'll save. I think what I'm going to do is just copy. Okay, they're not there. Which one was first? I think it was this one. We're going to do flashcards about the words. Okay, I think first what I'm going to do is translate these into English. Because right now, they're just in German, so Okay, so let's make some flashcards about those. And what color haven't I used? We have to use green. I really like this red, why not? No, I haven't set the timer. Oh, oops. That is incorrect. It is how often. Okay, so those are done. Let me write that side question. we'll work on one of the books on cap. So let's file, save as SPC. Desktop, study materials, German. I need a German book, and I think what I'll do is I'll start a new document. Go away. Because I'm not entirely sure which. Maybe it's the other one. So I don't actually think I need this stuff. Okay, so okay, so it is. Okay, I'm gonna pass. I'm gonna say that I'm done with German. Say German, and this will be chapter 1 vocab. And then we will work on translating them on another day. And so what are you studying? How do you enjoy reading continuously? Okay, so we were studying German. We're done with German. Yay. So let me first, before I start rambling, so we did chapter non-translate. Okay, so we did that. And this is where I am. This way I know where to pick up tomorrow. Let me also put my cards up. It's important to clean up, because if not, you lose stuff. Okay, so this is German, so we'll put that back in here. And then I will answer your questions. But in general, I'm studying for my January exams, and we have 8 classes that I'm studying, and then 1 class that I'm not because it's communications. But I'm doing a bachelor's in business management and entrepreneurship, and this semester I had introduction to marketing. I need to look because I can't remember my brain. Introduction to marketing, international trade and payment procedures, Excel, German business office skills, international commercial law, accounting, and product development and innovation. And it's going. And then how do you enjoy reading? I don't know. I guess because when I was little, I just had to read every day because when you have dyslexia, you can't not read because things happen. And it's actually a good thing that I had dyslexia because that allowed me to be diagnosed really early for specific reading comprehensive deficit, which is normally something that either goes completely undiagnosed in somebody's lifetime, or if they do get diagnosed, it's normally in high school. And the thing is when you get diagnosed young, you have more time to learn the skills and strategies and techniques to help you be a better reader. And so specifically in English, I don't have issues reading. And that's just in part because when I was little, I read all the time. And there wasn't an option not to read. My mother always really pushed that. And even if I didn't feel like reading, then she would read out loud to me while I followed along while she read, because sometimes it was frustrating because I couldn't do it well. And when you have to concentrate so hard on something, it's not enjoyable. So I'd say that really helped with my reading ability. And anytime there was any kind of book that I expressed even a remote twinkle of interest in, my mom got them. So I used to be part of the R.L. Stine book club, which sent, I think it was 4 books by R.L. Stine to our house every month. It was great. I was also part of, it was like some Star Wars thing where we got like books on the planets, but the planets of Star Wars, or like just stuff about Star Wars. She also got me like the Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen book series. I remember reading that. And then I also had lots of space books that she got me because I was really into astronomy and all that. Or is it astrology? Yeah, I think it's astrology, not astronomy, not astrology. But yeah, that's what I read when I was little. And then I don't want to say I grew out of it. It's just reading wasn't difficult anymore. I think just because I continuously did it, and I always read books that I liked. Because I remember specifically in middle school, there was a point where the librarian recommended this book to me by Carol B. Cooney's Both Sides of Time. And I remember loving that book. And up until that point, like the only good books worth reading were R.L. Stine. And I remember thinking, oh, there are other good books. And I didn't know that. And really, it's the librarians at Carson Middle School that really opened the door for reading. And I started devouring books then. What's funny though, is around that time is when Harry Potter came out. And the librarian, I remember, recommended that to me because she said, oh, I think this is a good story. And this is way before it was a thing. Like before it was a thing. Because it really had just come out. And I think it had been translated for the English or American market. And I remember reading that book and thinking, oh, this sucks. It's not going to do well. And it's done so well. And I generally did not like those books. But I feel like I'm like that a lot with my reading abilities, because there are certain books, it's like, I sometimes wonder if I'm reading a different book, because there are some, for example, like the 50 Shades of Grey series, like objectively, I can say like those are not well written, but as far as a story goes, it filled a niche. I mean, I enjoyed the story. It kept my attention. I was entertained. It wasn't as bad as people gave it credit for. And it's really interesting because I'm in the writing community. And I think one of the problems with writers and authors is that in their mind, they're writing this like high level literature, which if that's what you want to write, that's fine. But I think that's really niched. Most people aren't reading high class literature because, well, anybody who's ever took a literary class knows that high class literature just like really isn't that interesting. It's normally pushing the boundaries of literature. It's using all these techniques. It's normally very difficult to read and understand, and it's just boring because it's not about the story. It's about the literary techniques. It's a completely different thing. And the reality is that specifically if you want to be a writer who sells books to, we're going to say, a more broad market, you're not going to write high-class literature. You're going to write books for the masses. And most people have like a normal reading level. And so I think authors and writers really like to just poop on other writers who sort of do, we're going to say, like marketing writing, where it's not like for a specific group, it's just for a broad range of people, because they themselves, they don't have the ability to do that. At least that's my take on it. I don't know. But I'm going to leave you guys. I'm going to go have lunch, and then we'll come back. We'll study some more, and then we'll study some more. And so I will see you guys in like an hour. Thank you all for joining me. I really love your guys' company, especially today, because man, I really do not want to study today. I also didn't really want to study tomorrow, or yesterday. But we're getting through it. So, bye guys. Tootsies, my applezines.